Hey, Happy New Year 2012, everyone. This is Arthur, and I'm back with kind of the next segment on my favorite songs of 2011. As promised, the first segment was on what I can deem the disappointments of 2011, and this time I'm going to touch on a couple different items of note, songs of note in my survey, including the quirky, the new country genre wave, and a few other things like that that are of interest, that are outside the top 20. And probably, hopefully, if I don't get too distracted, play a couple samples of a couple of the favorites. I'm going to start off this one like I did last one, discussing American Idol albums from American Idol alumni. One I forgot to include on my disappointments file was Daughtry, Chris Daughtry, probably the most successful male artist so far of all the American Idol alum. He came out with a new album last year. Generally didn't impress me from what I heard. Anything like his blockbuster album that had all of those hits. He did have one good song called Crawling Back to You, which I wish had done better. It did make 113 on my rankings, so there's that. The other notable American Idol release that we're hearing in the background actually is the other male rocker who actually won his season, that being David Cook. He had an album called This Loud Morning that was out, and there was a very catchy single, if you can hear any of it, called The Last Goodbye, and I think it was a reasonable hit on the adult contemporary charts, but only got it to 105 on Billboard. Kind of reinforces my observation that, an observation of other people, that rock music has just fallen out of favor for whatever reason. But anyway, it was a very nice, catchy song. I thought the lyrics were sincere, and it did make it into my top 100 at 96. This is part of it. I really like it. I hope people continue to embrace his music. I look forward to what he comes out with. Alright, moving on to what I call the unique and quirky. I have a bunch of eclectic music taste friends who direct some unique tunes to my attention. Let's see if I can play the one. It's around 80. Here we go. My friend Dean, who is overseas, he's got some very out there tastes in music, and so kind of a tradition the last few years is he's been emailing me some songs that he feels I should hear, that I might be interested in. A lot of them, it's just too much for me. But there have been some groups that I've gotten to learn about thanks to him and enjoy. This is Dark Eyes by Crystal Stilts, and that's kind of a hippie, retro 60s type of sound. So that made it on my rankings in my top 140. And then kind of along the same lines, I have a pair of interesting songs that kind of go back to back in a bizarre way. Let me see if I can find this. It would be in here we go. What we are hearing is, I'm embarrassed to say it, Susan Boyle, the British songstress who came to attention on Britain's Got Talent and was an internet sensation. That, yes, it is Enjoy the Silence. Her version is kind of dirge-like, yet with me it kind of works. It actually, I ranked it at 104. I'm a little embarrassed about it, but the song is timeless, and she can sing, and for me somehow it works. Well, anyway, another song that kind of was a natural segue to it was this other retro group that my aforementioned friend Dean had sent me called the OCs, where it's this guy who basically performs videos of his band outside like garage parties and out in rural Texas or Oklahoma, I think. And it's just this balls of the wall, straight ahead rock, and they're the OCs, THEE, and then OH, and then C's, SEES. Check them out. They're just far out, I guess, in a good way. So anyway, that's them. And I have another. I have some interesting segues. Like I said, there was Susan Boyle to the OCs. There was another segment of songs, Uberlin by REM, segues to Police Dog Blues by Hugh Laurie. Yeah, that Hugh Laurie from House. To Strong, a cut from Glenn Campbell's last album, which segues into Did It On Him by Nicki Minaj, a intense expletive-laden track from her. And those were from like 125 to 122. So, okay, that's kind of my disjointed thing of all the quirky songs in my rankings. The other hallmark of my rankings are all the veterans who have come out with new albums. Stevie Nicks, she's at 163 with a song from her album from last year. The song's called Secret Love. Pretty solid. Overall, pretty good cohesive album. And as I mentioned, Glenn Campbell, and I'll kind of discuss his last album more at length in another clip. He was not the only one over 70 to make my survey. There was a rockabilly pioneer called Wanda Jackson who had some rockabilly hits in the early 60s and was kind of had some country hits in the 60s and 70s. And then she sort of semi-retired. And then, of all people, Jack White of the White Stripes produced a new album for her at the beginning of 2011. And she covered some contemporary songs. She did Amy Winehouse, You Know That I'm No Good. That was finished as my 201 song. This is a Bob Dylan song, Thunder on the Mountain. It has got a forceful horn section, percussion section, and great song. Anybody interested in something else offbeat, Wanda Jackson, The Party Ain't Over, is something good to check out. Also, there is Emmylou Harris. This is The Road. This was a song where she recounts her years with Graham Parsons, who was a country rock pioneer and OD'd and died at, I think, 27 years old, actually, back in the 70s. But she recorded a couple incredible albums with him, which I could have discussed for an hours about. But anyway, she had this song, The Road, off of her Hard Bargain album from last year. Very heartfelt and another good one.